on.
Yeah.
Well, you made a trusse, so
Hey, dogs. Hey, but no.
We
Anyway,
went to a birthday party last night.
Mhm.
None like I've ever been to before.
Oh, really?
It was on somebody's private property. It was 5 acres, and they had this one area that we were at, contained for parties, weddings, and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
They hold up to 300 people, and just to rent out the place, to have security,
Mhm.
not food, not nothing, 10,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. They had a taco bar there, and the tacos, oh my god, they were so good. I went back for seconds.
Mhm.
we haven't had a
But
good taco since California.
Right.
yeah, oh my god. And these ones, I don't know where they came from, but they were better than any I've ever had for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the best ones I had were in Ogden, Utah, of all places, at a taco stand, and they
Uh-huh.
had cabbage and everything to put on to garnish it for
Oh
their.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it was really good though. Really good tacos. It was back when what was it like
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday where they were like
Two
buy
for a dollar.
two for $1,
Hmm.
and that went up quick.
Yeah.
After that, it went up to like $2, but no, it
Yeah.
was uh, really good tacos. The best tacos were out of Ogden. There's that Mexican place here, a couple of them, but the one we ate at was like not that good for the price.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It was like an Alberto's or whatever. I don't know. They changed up the name a little bit. Anyway,
Right.
Yeah. Well, I just got told dinner's on the table, so
all right.
I will be well, stay in class, but I won't be there.
Okay, no problem.
Keep Christy in thought. She was given vacate orders for next week.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I will go eat
Yeah.
my dinner and I'll return.
Alrighty.
All right.
Enjoy your dinner.
Enjoy. So everybody who's joining, thanks for joining. We're all live. We're going to try to do this once a month, maybe a little less than that, but just kind of show everybody what class is. When I talk about class, when I'm live and teaching a class, that's what this is. So it's also a group, and right now we're in story time. So we just pick a story either from way back or one from the week, and it has to be a true story, true to you. So if it's something spiritual, something you seen, maybe you had a dream, you had a vision, those kind of stories. And that's what we're doing right now. So now it's on to Norma is up as far as her story, or should we tell them? A story, one of our paranormal stories?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm all ears.
Okay, we're handling puppies right now. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I'll leave the link if anybody wants to jump on. This is kind of an open class, so I'll leave the link in the comments if anybody wants to jump on and join us tonight. Let me find it first. What story should we tell them, babe?
I'm trying to think of which one we haven't told them yet.
Well, some people in the audience probably haven't heard it.
Well, we once saw a lava lamp float across the sky. No, we saw like an elemental that was.
It was like an air elemental. It looked like a little cloud, but it was full of smoke.
Right.
It was like like a bubble, but inside of it was smoke. And we just thought it was a bag. We thought it was. We were sitting outside smoking a cigarette on the front porch, out facing the street, and I could hear, or I saw something. I didn't hear it. Just out of the corner of my eye, coming straight at me from my right side. It looked like a bag, so that's what I was. I kind of pushed it off and didn't, continue to smoke a cigarette. And it got over our head, like about 10 feet above us. Maybe not even that.
Right.
Like I couldn't quite reach it, but it was just hovering right over the house. So, yeah, we looked at it and it was a smoke-filled, like bubble,
Mhm.
but the bubble was like morphing, like
like a
lava.
lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a trip. That happened, God, how many years ago?
Gosh, 8.
3 or 4 years ago?
No,
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
I don't even know, dude.
Yeah, it
Every
might
time
have
I look
been
at memories
4 or 5
anymore,
years
I'm
ago.
saying,
Shit,
like,
life goes
so-
fast when you get older. It just speeds up on you.
And then there was another time that, I mean, the only way I could explain, even, I don't know, but it looked like a flock of birds, but it wasn't birds. It was kind of like glowy, but not like, I don't know. It was really strange, but it seemed like this thing, like this whole big, huge flock of birds flew right down the street.
Oh yeah, that was another strange. And this was the same location.
But it wasn't, yeah, but it wasn't.
This was the night we
birds.
saw
It was-
UFOs. You're telling all of our stories
Not
already.
all of them, just those two.
Those two, but those are two big ones. Those are ones that, like, I don't care if people don't believe me.
Right?
I saw what I
Like,
saw.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was a trip too, though. That was like
One was-
we could
yeah.
see like almost like objects above us bending light to make it look like they were see-through.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell they were bending light just by the way the sky looked, and they were moving.
Yep.
And no, we weren't on mushrooms
Nope,
or acid.
we weren't on anything.
I didn't
right?
think we were.
We might have been stoned
Maybe.
because we get stoned a lot.
But yeah, I've seen pretty the craziest shit has been with Norma. But it just kind of reaffirms like what's out there. There's a lot of
Right.
things that people don't have any idea about,
Mhm.
and a lot of us tap into that,
Right.
And that's where spirituality comes from. Spirituality covers everything. It is the ether that holds everything together. So, yeah, the lava lamp looking thing and the big spaceships were pretty crazy. And I saw a spaceship or like a fast one, like it was about the size of maybe a little bigger than like a fighter jet, but it took off and darted like darted and then took off way the hell out west, out towards where I was living. Then was if you go out west of us about 100 miles was Dugway, which is like area 50. They call it area 55
or 5.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's like the other experimental base, which I've actually been to that base. I'll save that story for another day.
Yep.
I've been to that base when I was a kid. My grandpa. Yeah. Anyway, that's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
What's up, Christy? Christy, are you there? Okay. Anyway, she might be away from the phone for a minute. So, looking for Anthony too. I haven't seen him yet either. Story time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
where's Anthony at?
I don't know.
Didn't he say that he couldn't like text or something?
He couldn't text.
Well,
Um,
well, go online or do something.
Oh, like they don't have internet or something?
No, he was like,
I think Christy
blocked or
said that she had a,
banned,
huh?
for like a period of time.
Yeah.
But it's in our it's in our chat.
Okay.
You can
must have missed
read
that.
it. But that seems odd that he wouldn't be able to come on to here.
Yeah, and maybe he just can't make it. Maybe he's got some other stuff going on.
Well, I
That
hope he's
happens
doing
sometimes.
good.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, me
It
too.
looks like Christy's trying to jump on, but
I
She
wish
did
she could get in.
A little funky.
yeah, she did.
Well, Aaron, tell a
Yeah.
story.
Tell a story.
Tell a story, Aaron. It's your turn.
I already told you. I just told 2 stories.
Norma just told 2 stories.
Oh, Norma told the 2 stories.
Hey,
Well, those
what's
are my
technically
biggest
my
stories
turn?
right now. How about Christy tell a story? Christy's up. I can tell you a couple of stories. Just some.
You guys give me just a second. Like I literally have been I'm crying because I couldn't connect, so I just need a second. I finally found a spot where I have Wi-Fi, so just give me 1 second.
Okay. So story time. Let me see here. Okay, one time my mentor, I was just out in town when I lived in Utah, in Layton, and I was hanging out with my friend Michaela. She passed away, but we were walking from her house to just like, I don't know, the store or something. I can't remember where we were walking, but it was like a couple blocks away. So, yeah, I saw my friend or my mentor, one of my mentors, Oliver, get on the bus. Like I know it was him. And I asked him about it later, and he said, yeah, I was there, but I wasn't there. He said, I was there in spirit. So I actually saw him actually shifting in different places. Like he was really, some things like he talked to you about, but he didn't divulge too deeply. It just always kind of came out simple. But it made a lot of sense. And yeah, there was one story. I mean, there's a lot of different stories. I mean, there was a time when I thought I was Jesus.
I've
Because
taken
when
a
you
lot
go,
of acid and felt that way.
when you go through like that awakening, you kind of get this sense of, and these are different levels. So as you move up into different levels and you move up into that concept or construct of like religion or how, it's how we see ourselves,
Right.
And how we see ourselves connected to these deities or these archetypes. So you get like really spiritually, everybody does it if they're on that path. You get this place of like really clear and you fucking know it all, and you don't even realize, you're like, okay, you don't even realize you're doing it. And then if you look at like heard it on there, looked at it from the outside, you realize, wow, what a self-important asshole. Like you really think you're that important to everybody else, So yeah, I mean, that was a crazy story. But once we had an awakening that lasted like 3 weeks, the energy just was zooming. And we started with my mentor again. We all had it was St. Patrick's Day. And we all had some wine. And then I think Oliver like invoked some stuff. And then we started playing this game where said everything, everything.
You say yes to everything.
Say yes to everything. And that opened up a whole like area where you had to be like vulnerable, but trust that nobody was going to ask you any bullshit, and be open to opportunity. And that happened. That was when I was like seeing myself as like a Roman and in some other place in the heavens, what I thought were. And that was probably the biggest one of that. But I had another one when I started doing a lot of astral projecting. And the group I was with I allowed myself to be put in that position because they kept calling me that. And I let my ego get to me. But I learned, you come down off of that and you start to learn, okay, this grounding and, that's where we need to ground, right? This is where we need to like, okay, let's get back to earth and what we can feel and what we can see and touch. That's the world or the dimension we're living in. We need to experience that one. Along with experiencing other things, but this is the world we live in, and this is a gift. I mean, this is what our desires are. Is, hey, we want to go down there and learn and connect to this planet, whatever planet it is. Right. In our case, it's Earth, Mother Earth. And that's kind of where I wanted to segue it. We're going to kind of go into that. We'll maybe do a little meditation. There's Anthony. Nice. Okay, we got story time still going. So that was my three. I told you three.
That's what I was going to ask is, what are we story timing over, guys? Like, I know you guys put me in the group, but I couldn't hear shit. Like, I've been driving frantically. So what are we doing?
Okay, so we're live tonight, just so everybody,
okay,
people that watch can see what class is all about.
Okay.
We're from now on in class, we are each taking time to, like how it used to be, like I'd ask you how your week was, right?
Yep.
You can tell a cool story or any kind of story you want to that's true and true to you. So if it's a paranormal story, like, the time you saw UFO, right? Like that was a cool time. I remember you explaining it to me, and
Yep.
Yeah, like things like that, or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You can tell whatever story as long as it's true and true to you.
So when, I mean, you guys already know the story, but when we were at the shelter, the boys and I were sitting in the backyard, and the shelter was in Kaysville, Utah. And so I know that over the back of the shelter is the mountains. I can't remember the name of the mountain range,
Wasatch
but
Front.
it's, yes. And so there's a lot of activity right there. I mean, like, I used to watch Skinwalker Ranch, and I know that's that way too. So, well, I don't even know why we were sitting outside that night, but I think I was messaging you guys like prior to this that night, and I can't remember why. But for some reason, we were sitting outside, and I was smoking a cigarette, and I looked up, and sure as shit, I saw like a light come out of nowhere, and it just hovered. And so I'm sitting there, and in my head, I'm like, dude, you're tripping. It's a helicopter or something stupid, but it's not moving. And so I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden, it went into two. And then right when the second one dropped down from the first one is when I pulled out my phone and started recording it. And was like,
Yeah.
there's no way that I'm actually like sitting here watching this. And so then from the second drop, it went to the third drop, and then it shot backwards, and then it came
Yeah.
forwards, hovered, and then just disappeared. So I sent you guys the video, and the boys and I sat outside, I think a couple hours waiting for it to come back, because we just knew we were going to see it again, and we didn't. But I know, and you guys saw that video. I know that that's what we saw, dude. I know.
Right. Yeah,
For
Mikkel
sure.
caught a couple cool ones too. She caught a spinning pyramid. It was like a pyramid that was like spinning on its.
Fantastic. Over at that same area, right?
It was no, hers was in Salt Lake, but they usually
Okay.
always west of like that, where that valley is the Wasatch Front.
Yes.
And then there's
Yes.
a valley, and then when you look west, that's where you usually see them.
Yep. And
It's
it's
out over the
active
Great Salt
over
Lake.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't
You know
seen
why,
one
though?
yet
And
here. I will. I'm
I
sure.
think that there's portals in that mountain range. I really do. Like, I think that mountain range has a lot of activity, but I do think that there's portals there, and I think that that's how they come in and out of that mountain.
Yeah, there's a lot of caves and a lot of things in in here. Cow about the dogs. She lets them get to them.
I heard her.
Anyway.
She was not pleased.
No, she was being very quiet on that one. They just knocked over
But yeah.
a folding chair. No big deal.
That mountain range is crazy, though. Like, that whole area. Well, there's a lot of
And
hot
it's all
spot
private
activities,
property
though.
there too, so you can't explore that shit.
Yep, exactly.
That's
And then
all
you have to
private
go, okay,
property
so why
stuff.
is that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, and there were politicians involved with buying up all
Right.
that land
Right.
and got it
So
for a
that's
really
exactly
good
my
price because it was government land. So
yeah.
yeah, there's things there. If you go up Farmington Canyon, there's that observatory. It's at
Right.
the top of the mountain. You saw that, right?
I
That's
did. I
all
went there
top
with
secret
Tyler.
shit. You can't. I went there when I was a kid. I actually got to go like on the and look
You
out.
did?
Yeah, but I mean
That's
that was when I was like 4. So
Yeah,
they,
that's
they
cool,
closed
though.
it down now. You don't
Yeah,
get
they
to go
did.
up there anymore.
Yeah.
They still use it, but it's the Air Force.
Hey, well, have you heard of the place in Kaysville that's called oh my gosh, what's the name of
Hayes
that?
Cross.
Yes.
Hayes
Yes.
Cross. Yes, I've been there, but they blew it up.
Yeah, so have we. Yes.
We used to hang out there when we were kids, like 17, 18.
Hell yeah.
We'd take our girlfriends down there, or girls, and just, get them scared.
You can
We just-
feel the energy of that place, though. That's the thing about that place. Like, I could totally see that, but when you get there, you feel it. Like, you do feel the energy. You
Yeah, it's
feel
heavy energy.
what happened there. Yeah.
It's all gothic there too. It's like it was a
It
huge
is.
gothic cross. It was probably about, I don't know, I'd say like 10 feet tall.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we used to just hang out by it. And then one time it was funny because my friend bought a scanner so he could listen to like,
Okay.
because we used, this is back when we used to party. We used to party all the
Yeah.
time. So, we were kids and he was smart and got a police scanner so we'd know when the party got busted. Anyway, he picks up there was an explosion and somebody blew it up with a pipe bomb and he got it over the scanner.
Wow.
We're like, oh
That's
shit,
funny.
Case Cross. They blew up Case Cross. There's also a
that's
glowing
funny.
headstone there too. And
Is
Kaysville's
there?
also got a lot of polygamists in it.
Yes, that is very true. Yes, I learned that. Well, so we might be going back to Utah. We're moving out of here. We've been asked to leave. Like, we knew it was going to come to a head, so we're leaving. So I think we might be going back. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do, but yeah.
Yeah, if you had a
Anyways,
place to stay, I could say come out here for a little while and Kind of get
I know. I just, at this point, dude, I don't know what. I've learned a lot about myself since coming out here. Like, I really need to stop and slow down. And I
Yeah.
need to really trust uh, my inner self a lot. I need to listen to my intuition way more, and I need to slow down because everything does not. I am one of those people that, like, I feel like I always have to have control. I have to be able to know, especially for the kids, like what we're doing. Where, like, I don't like feeling like I'm out of control. I felt like that way for a long time with their dad, and I don't want to feel like that. So I'm trying to control that. But I let myself just get ahead of myself and made a really poor decision in coming out here, and so uh, it's affected the kids, and I'm dealing with the repercussions of that. But it'll be fine, and I know that. Like, I am a strong person. You guys have taught me so much about myself, and I've realized that. At least I know that now, and I really see that. Like, I never really saw it. My mom and dad used to call me impulsive all the time.
Yeah.
And they used to
Yes.
piss me off, dude. I don't like that word. That word is like a trigger for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't fucking call me impulsive. And I'm the
Mhm.
most impulsive person I know, dude. Like, but don't call me that. And but then you have to sit there, and once you meditate and you ground, like I've been doing, because the trees out here are just something I've never seen in my life, dude. The greenery out here is absolutely beautiful. And so the kids and I, it's become a rule in this house where we walk every night with all of the kids and all of the dogs. So there's a herd of us going up and down the street. But out here, my health has also improved, so I can walk. And so I
Yeah.
get out there with them, and even if they're in a bad mood or one of them has had a bad day at school, or half the time I don't want to fucking go myself, but you go outside. And so you guys have taught me that about grounding too. You get outside. And so we've been doing these walks, and I have really just come to peace with a lot of this situation, being outside in these walks and in these trees, and just being able to smell the trees and the forest and just feeling it under my feet. The dogs are just flourishing, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's all going to be fine. And I have no idea
Yep.
why I went off on that tangent. So
I don't know. You maybe need to let it go.
Right.
I did. Sorry, guys.
No,
No
you're
problem.
good.
No reason to be
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
No,
you're in a sticky
you're
wicket.
fine, and it's amazing we once we learn to be able to talk to the trees and stuff, because literally the trees have been around a lot longer than even we have.
Very
So when
much.
your family in there and angry and stuff like that, you're angry and upset, and then all of a sudden you start going out and you're walking amongst the trees and stuff, and all of a sudden you can, without even having to really force yourself to ground yourself in, all of a sudden you
Yeah.
start feeling this nice calm come over you, and you're like, and then once you, for those that understand what it means, yeah, when you start feeling that calm, that's when you literally that's nature's way of saying, take a breath
Yeah.
and walk. And literally, the nature will literally you can change. You can actually trade your energy with nature, and nature will trade its energy back with you when it needs it.
Yeah.
That's
It opens my lungs, Anthony. Like, it opens, I can breathe here. Like, I couldn't
Yeah.
breathe in Utah. And I think a lot of that was my own mental
Yeah.
blockage, but I can breathe here. Like, in these trees, dude, and the wind starts blowing, and you're just like, holy crap, I can actually, like, take a full breath. Like, meditation
Right.
out here is so possible because I can actually get that deep breath. You know what I mean? That I've struggled to get for so long, dude. And I just feel, yeah. So I agree, Anthony. I'm sorry.
It's Anthony's turn.
Yeah.
adding into what I was just adding into what you were picking, what you were looking at, and stuff like that. Yes, like I said, since I've been with the group, I've seen great growth out of everybody here, and even myself on fixing certain things for myself. Like I said, just I'm not 100%, but still, that's the whole thing about being teachers and stuff like that. In this understanding that even though we are out for a week or so, even though we are still recuperating, we still have overabundance of energy to keep on doing what I'm doing for people coming in. Why is this happening?
Yeah.
Why is this going on? And literally,
Yeah.
most of the time, we get for Kathy and stuff like I said. She's learning to slow down because she sees the storm ahead. Well, the best way to get through a storm is to literally run through it. That's what human life has told us is when we have trouble, literally, you want to run through that trouble as quick as possible and get it taken care of.
Yeah.
But most storms is literally if you literally just sit there and allow the storm to come and just, all right, here I am. Let me have it. and literally just have that storm pound on you. And once it all clears up and you're finished, and you're like, you know what? I survived. I survived.
Yeah,
this
all these little
humongous
shifts are
storm
taking
here.
you somewhere. I mean,
Mhm.
all these little shifts and movements you're making are taking you somewhere. I mean, you can even look into like, you've been there for a while. You've been there for what, a month or so? So,
Yeah, a little over a month.
I mean, now you can check into resources just close. If you can breathe up there
Yeah.
and you're feeling better, then why not?
Yeah, it'll be fine. That's all. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it will.
Yep.
And
It'll be
the only
good.
thing I could think of lately has been tents. I've been looking at pop-up tents, tents, and stuff like that. Even they have this new connecting tents. These little small one-person tents that connect into a big, large tent. And I'm like, well, there you go. Just get a whole bunch of tents and we'll all meet over at Aaron's
Almost.
property. Then
Here
we'll
we
put
go.
our
Here we
tents
go.
up.
No kidding.
They've got hot tents that you can put like wood burning
Burning
stoves in.
in. Mhm.
And they're canvas tents. They're like old school, like army camp tents, like back in the 1800s.
That's crazy.
There's a guy that's been living. He's like out here in northern Arizona. And he's been living in a hot tent
6 months.
for 6 months. So he's lived in 105-degree weather, and
That's
he's
crazy.
lived in 5 below. So yeah, they're really comfortable. You don't want to get a fire in there, that's for sure, because those things will go up like paper. But yeah, they're really cool. I looked into them and I'm like, damn, if I had $2,000, some of them are 10 grand, just depends.
Right.
But you can get the ones like Temu or whatever, they sell them too, and they're a lot cheaper. But yeah, people live in some crazy shit. I'm glad that I have a trailer to live in out here, because I love the truck in
Some of the
certain ways.
winds
The truck was
sometimes,
better.
Yeah.
In certain
In
things,
there were
living in the Suburban was better
Mhm.
because everything was right there. You didn't have, all the power works, everything works. You get hot or you get cold, you just turn on the heat,
Yep.
start the car. I mean, it just depends. I mean, I know the boys, that's not an option because you've got the boys, but yeah, just keep brainstorming. Let it come in.
Yep.
Let it something inspire you, and that's
Yeah.
how I got here. Like, it was a vision from a long time ago, but there was a time a couple of years ago where it just clicked. Like, oh, yeah, we're doing it now. It's time to do it, and then it started. And then we ended up moving. Or Kathy's, we were planning on just doing road tripping, but we ended up staying. And then we looked for land and spent some time looking for land, and then bought some, and here we are. And I mean, really, I didn't have that much. We didn't have that much. We live very meagerly.
Yep.
We're not rich. I mean, we are rich in a lot of ways.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just happens. But you've got to will it to happen.
Mhm.
Like, and first you got to have the clear vision of what you want to happen.
Like knowing.
Not in a way of like running away, but in a way of, this is what I want, so I'm going to get it.
Being at Kathy's, I knew I wanted my own chickens because I had tasted the difference between.
Oh my
real
God, there's
eggs
such a difference. And
and
these girls ain't
store-bought
laying yet.
eggs, okay. And lo and behold, when we go to get home, all of a sudden, we also got 6 chickens. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, these ones so far acting like little pet chickens because.
They knock on our door because they're free range. So
Yeah.
or pasture. We'd like to call them pasture chickens because
Mhm.
they get to eat from a pasture, and
Right.
they have a big cage.
But they really
pet
want us
coop.
to feed them all the time.
Oh my God! Every time I go outside, they're like, and they'll start pecking at me.
Give me treats,
On my
give me
leg.
treats, give me treats.
They'll peck on the door,
Mhm.
like, "Hey, we're out here."
Yep.
Chickens are smart.
What are we supposed to
They're
do
very
now?
smart.
Hey,
Very smart.
you gonna give me something? But anyway, yeah. So yeah, manifestations are real, and you just got to be open to the way they come. And look, if nothing else, these birds are teaching me something.
Yes.
Hopefully they do.
And the
produce
puppies are
eggs or
teaching
whatever,
you a lot.
but- God, yeah.
I laugh at them a lot. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I yell at the top of my lungs at them. But when we're outside and they want to just keep running from me.
Mhm.
But I think I figured that one out. Treats.
Yeah.
Treats do well with them.
Ish with one.
No, both of them. Actually, a treat worked for Ginger before it worked for Ava this time.
See.
Anyway. Yes, like staying grounded, staying connected to the trees, to the air, to the wind,
To your life, to what's
to
going
your
on,
life,
to
just
your-
being present and being
Yep.
mindful in it, not in that fear state of like fight or flight. That can be a good and positive thing to be in the fight or flight. It can help, but it can also destroy a lot of shit and cause a lot of havoc.
Right.
Because you're not thinking it through. You're not thinking it through many, many, many times.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. You know, for me, I pick up, I get an idea, I get a vision, and then I start doing things that would make that come to life.
Right.
So I start looking for property. I start saving money. I get myself in a position where I know I can do it.
Right.
And it's really easy to save $10 here, $10 there. It takes time, takes a while, but it actually adds up pretty fast.
It really does.
When you do a little bit better, you put in 100.
Mm-hmm.
And I've found that the savings has really helped me and saved our lives out here, because without it, we would be much further than we are. Wouldn't be as
We wouldn't
far
be
as
as
we
far
are.
along as we are.
So, and that came from planning, and then just like people helping me out, like along the way, knowing, supporting our vision.
Right.
It takes the support of you guys. I mean, everybody here, watching, listening,
joining,
everybody in the class, and you can join. I'll share it again, but that's how a plan comes together.
Right.
And it comes together in a way that, in some ways, it came together exactly the way I expected, but you've got to expect shit to break down here. Like, you've got to expect to have challenges. There's no, you're not going to, living the life of paradise in your own mind or wherever you're at.
Right.
Being in that paradise state takes a lot of work.
It does take a lot of work.
But it's awesome.
It
I mean,
is.
and that's it. Just finding what you want, whatever that is for you in life right now. Doesn't mean happen to go buy a property. Maybe it means trying something new, or learning a lot more about something. Staying grounded in this earthly realm that we live
this
in,
position in which,
with
in our
these
being,
higher
ourselves.
powers,
Yes.
is balance. That's where you want to be.
Right. You're walking
And
that
yet
line.
not forgetting your dark self, your shadow either.
It's a balancing act. It really is. It's walking in between, knowing you need those darker aspects.
We
But
live in between the dark and the light, and we
Yes.
experience all of it.
Yes.
We're in the middle. This can be paradise. This
I
can be
had a
hell.
quick question.
Yes.
Norma and Aaron, where were you guys in Utah at?
Where were we
You
in
guys were
Utah? I lived in Ogden. We lived in
Okay,
Ogden.
so
we lived in
Springville.
Springville.
We lived in Ogden and Springville.
Ogden and Springville. Yeah.
Yeah.
Salt Lake.
Oh, and Salt Lake. Yes, and Salt Lake.
Okay, those,
Ogden and
Bountiful.
Bountiful. And
Right.
Bountiful.
that's where Christy needs to look at. It's in
Yeah.
that general area there.
Yeah.
Because I think she's following the same path you are to get to where you are. It's just
Right.
She's maybe about 3 months, maybe up to probably give or take maybe 3 months, give or take. Something by the end of the year might be able to get her over to.
I mean, I would
Where
tell
you
you
guys
go to the ashram, but you
All of a sudden
then
it came. I was thinking about it.
like there's an
I mean, no,
ashram
like
in
I said,
America.
for Christy to look for areas to live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just
Ogden,
a thought
I
that
think-
popped in my
okay.
brain here.
Ogden is
For
going to
me,
be the cheapest.
Ogden
or the
truly
less,
is the best case. So when I had nothing, dude, I had nothing. A job in Salt Lake that was, I don't know. Anyway, I finally got out of my relationship. And the best, most affordable,
Massey
most-
Manor.
whatever was in Ogden. Now, I chose Massey Manor. My mom kept my cat.
She was
so my pet
escaped.
was
She was
whatever.
she was shelter. She needed shelter. She had left her husband.
Yep.
And took her girls, and
Got the fuck out. Anyway, Ogden, though, I have noticed, because even when we moved into our houses and etc., it really is, and unfortunately it's because there's slumlords or people that just expect you to handle it all, or they'll take a million years to fix it for you, but it's affordable. And a lot of those things we did do, right? Or did wait for, because
Right.
whatever. So it's yeah. I think when you're looking for reprieve in or around Utah, Ogden really is the place to go.
yeah, I would second, or anything north of that too,
Yes.
like Brigham City.
I've been in Vernal.
well, that's down central. But like, there's a lot of places in Utah. Utah's getting expensive, but
It is.
there's the smaller towns is where you want to look. Like the city is going to be, premium. And there's where we lived in Bountiful. That guy, I mean, it was like $800 a month. I mean, that's
Wasn't exactly the cheapest, but he's still affordable.
yeah. I
Bit of
a
slumlord, whatever. But like,
Yeah, Massey Manor is definitely a roach motel, so we don't want
no, don't go to F Street.
to. Don't get an F Street.
You brought the roaches with you.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's what he tried to tell you. I'm like, and then you hear from the neighbors, they're like, no, those things have been here since they tore the house down next door. That's years. Oh, that was terrible.
But
Dealing
no,
with
I
cockroaches.
just think that prices is, and look, it's been a couple good few years since I've been looking, but I feel like Ogden will always kind of keep themselves.
And there's
that
also like
safe
these
space,
basement. I
right?
think she's lived in one of those basement apartments, or
Yeah.
basement, somebody's basement. There's a lot of people willing to rent shit out right now, so they can have that income, so they can have that mortgage,
Right.
pay
But
their
you
mortgage
wanna
or
be
whatever.
Where those trees are, then
Yeah, you're up in Washington. I've never been there, and I'd love to go there because I know it. I've heard
I
it's
don't know
pretty.
what those prices are. But hey, look
I
around
don't
there.
think Washington's
See what you got
too
going
bad.
on.
It's not California.
The prices here in Washington,
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then you got Oregon, which is Portland right there.
right.
So everything's pretty high here.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Right.
I agree. It's nice and green. But it is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Nothing like living more in the South.
Right.
I've known people that live in Georgia and they can move into a mansion for what
Right.
we paid for our small little house.
Yeah.
So yeah, here it's outrageous.
Yeah. Well, see, even here in Arizona, like I feel like we got a fair rate, probably a little bit overpriced, but not really. Like right there in the ball game.
No, we
right?
got it before it got to be really overpriced.
Exactly. But
And we actually waited for it to come down, because things were really high there for a while after
yes. Well,
yeah.
because I wanted between 3 and 5 acres. Okay, that was like my ultimate, for the animals, for the things, for the everything we want to do. We need at least 3 to 5, right? Especially if you want like our own privacy. Sometimes you need some space for that. And we were looking, and everyone's selling them in bigger parcels for just
like 40
out
acre
fucking
plots,
outrageous.
which is a good deal if you're willing to go in $20,000,
right?
which that's all they were. They're like 22
Right.
grand for
Really
40
reasonable,
acres,
but like way out.
and they're
our
in the
price range.
pines, they're in the trees. But I didn't want to take on that big responsibility. I'm
And
like,
so,
no, that's
Finally,
something I can.
I
yeah.
conceded, and I said, okay, fine. If it's in the right place, it's the right spot, I'll take an acre. Just at least an acre. Because, to have animals, they'll do all the things, you need some space. And you can do it in smaller spaces, don't get me wrong. But anyway, I finally conceded, and I said, fine. You know what? Here's this one right next to Painted Desert. It's this, it's that.
It's right next to a road. It's about a mile.
Right,
We're like
I'm
2 miles away from the main road.
Right. I'm thinking it's fairly close to services.
Yeah.
Here's this one. It's only an acre.
Phone service is awesome out
But
here.
I'm
We've got a
gonna get-
5G tower,
Right.
not even. There's one right there by the road, but there's one right here closer to us
Mhm.
that I noticed. So yeah, I wanted to have that. It fit a lot of our. I wanted
It
trees,
checked a lot of our boxes.
but it checked a lot of the boxes.
It checked
and
a lot of boxes.
I did want trees, but that's okay. We're gonna plant some.
And then, lo and behold, I contact this man about this 1 acre. Well, a little over
He
1.5.
says there's 3.
He goes, I own the next 2 too. There's like 3.25, right? I'm like, yup. Thank you. It and that's how I kind of almost knew this was meant to be ours. I finally conceded, was caving to something, and I got that beginner lot I was asking
Yeah.
for.
And we're talking with the county now to get an address, so we'll eventually have an address. It's working with the county is
Slow. Just
And
why I sent
filling
the
out
video at
forms
least a
and-
few weeks because
they're slow. They got back to us pretty
But they
quickly
did well.
for the first
Yes,
time,
but
after they
because
sent
here's the
you,
thing. I think that they answer emails once a week at least, right?
They're off
what I'm
Fridays. They're
gathering
not
now.
even open on Fridays.
They're not even open on Fridays. But I resent an email back just like almost quickly thereafter because only one of the 6 documents they sent me came through. And I haven't heard anything. So
But I think you just need to get on the computer and do it on the laptop because I don't think you can do it on your phone.
No.
No?
When I look at those documents, they're just fucked up.
Because they want like your 911, how they get here.
Yeah.
It's funny. I found a marker
driveway.
today that looks like a little license plate that says 162, and we're in N7162.
N61.
N61, N63. And there's hopefully later on we buy more land around
seriously,
it.
I would
Because there's places that are abandoned that I'd like to buy, like right across the street from us.
Yeah.
Just south of us is that where that trailer's abandoned. I want to buy that.
I would love to.
And have both sides of the road or buy behind us or next to us.
Behind and next to us, most definitely.
But anyway.
Yeah, we just
this has just become a chit chat. Yeah, you know what Thomas Lee said? He was hold on, I want to read this. He said he had to go to the mental health center due to your family not believing that when you were a young boy you were abducted by aliens here in Washington State. Oh shit. You remember very little about the abduction though, but I know I came back with what looked like parts cut off and put back. Wow. That's crazy, Thomas.
Yeah,
That's
and
shit.
you know what? And that sucks though when you're put
and
into
you're not believed.
A state of like, yeah. And look, I have a daughter that I mean, I always believe her. She's feeling, sensing, doing whatever, etc. This goes for both my girls, really. But and I don't always fully necessarily believe their version of things, especially if it's something I saw with my own eyes, right?
They don't believe our version of things.
Exactly. But I don't take away from I felt this or this thing happened or like whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like I try to keep myself grounded in, okay, here's this person, here's how and who they are. They're saying this thing. You know what I mean? Like I unfortunately did put my oldest daughter into a hospital for a time. Because she just got to a point I didn't know.
She was getting violent.
Yes. I no longer knew how to soothe her, to calm her, to get her to ground in the moment, right? Like not taking away from her experience, but like understand this one though. Like balance yourself in here, right? And that sucks because when you involve the hospitals and shit, now you're adding chemicals and you're kind of it sucks when you have to do that, right? I've been that person in that hard position. And only with one of my kids did I do that. And now I have another kid acting like I should have. You didn't pay attention all this time. So, you know, yeah, those are hard places to be in because our experiences are always valid, even when they're just in our minds. But being believed and honored enough to go, okay, look, that wasn't grounded in our reality, but I don't take away from your experience. Explain this. Be like, how do I help you from here? Right? We need a little bit more of that. And even for me, because, man, sometimes I get impatient with the animals, especially the ones that are extremely needy. Like, okay, I've gone through all the things you usually are asking for. What is the problem right now? Right? So those are hard places to be in on both sides.
Yeah.
The experiencer and those that are trying to console and help. Like, I don't want to take, like, if you're seeing things, I don't want to take away from your visions. I just want to ground you into our moment now and help you, you know what I mean? Like, help you grow and understand what it is you're seeing or experiencing.
Yep, I agree. Understanding.
Yep. I say that a lot.
No.
But really, just trying to get it. Well, I'm getting it. It's good. Really.
All right, so I think we're going to do a little grounding meditation. And it's going to be me and Norma. Up first, maybe eventually we're all going to do one where we all guide each other. So I'm going to start with Norma. And we'll do that now. Or you can start with me, and then I'll go to you. We're just doing this meditation from the ether. We're connecting to spirit. What comes out, comes out. So everybody take some time to get comfortable. No restrictions. Just to loosen up. You loosen your shoulders, roll your neck a little bit.
I gotta roll my hips because I've been
Focus on whatever ails you right now and relax that. All while taking deep breaths in
like as far as you can.
as far as you can and out.
As far as you can.
And come to that rhythm in your breathing where things are just working in rhythm. It's not labored. Every exhale, you just become more relaxed. Plant your feet on the ground and feel that connection. Feel that connection to this place that we live called Earth, called Gaia. Feel that connection. Feel that magnetic connection that we have with her. Continuing to breathe deeply in and deeply out. Release all that tension. Let Mother Earth's connection ground you, hold you, nurture you. The wind, the water, the soil, the land. Feel that connection with all of her. We continue to breathe deeply in, out.
And as we're getting more and more relaxed in our breathing and feeling more deeply grounded into our earth, we're relaxed. We're able to feel that density without the pull. It's almost a light, it's beautiful birthing, right? Like just the soil beneath our feet, feeding our roots. It's cool, yet warm, nourishing our bodies, and therefore our minds and our soul. Taking in the waters deep beneath the earth. That helps us remind us that we're so light within this darkness. We could choose to try to push it too hard, feel that heavy earth, or we could just take in the water and let that water expand within us, reminding us that all that seems heavy truly just nourishes us, allowing the earth's water to run through our veins, our roots, all the way up through. Helps us to appreciate that darkness, that density around us that nourishes us, teaches us, helps us, shows us exactly what we're doing here on Earth.
Our purpose, our experience, Take some time to show gratitude for nature, for Earth, for the connection that we have to her for this short time here on in human life. Allow the trees to talk to you and talk back. Allow the sky to send you messages and guide you the right way. Allow the water to give you fluidity and adaptability and strength and power. And allow the land to give you knowledge, roots, memories. Let all the tension fall away back through Mother Gaia. Any tension you may have, any ailment you may have, any pain, allow that pain to just fall off of you, fall away. Back toward the center of creation. Take some time to just feel that, to feel Earth, to feel all the elements, to be one with all of them, because we are.
Balance between them, the harmony that plays out.
The ebbs and the flow of life, our emotions, our life experiences. Our connection to others, our connection to ourselves. This is where we come to ground. We allow that energy to come down to a subtle and peaceful vibration. Continuing to breathe and feeling that connection wherever that takes you, however that makes you feel. Allow it. Allow that magnetic connection between us and the land we live on, that we walk on, that we play on, that we work on, protecting us like a mother, nurturing us like a mother. Allow that love into your heart. Allow that connection in to your mind. And feel it. Getting calm with each breath and each exhale. Continue to get even more relaxed and feel a deeper connection now. Even deeper connection than the superficial or what's on the outside. Feel that connection totally. Go deeper. Seek a deeper connection. Continue to breathe and rhythmically, peacefully, relaxed, grounded in our own realities, grounded in connection with everything, grounded in our thoughts, grounded in our minds. There's always a time to fly, but there's also a time to ground. And the grounding is what we're doing now to recharge, to gain, feel that energy of this planet we live on.
Feel the nourishment,
Feel the love.
the love. It's natural. It is never not here.
It never worries. It just is. It reacts to what comes, but it never thinks about what's coming. It never thinks about a bad outcome. She just is. I want you to incorporate that into your psyche, into your mind, into your heart. Whenever we're feeling stressed or worried or uneasy, diseased, we find that connection. We ground ourselves. We let go of all the negative thoughts or negative outcomes that we think of, all the worries. We take everything as it comes. And we keep turning. We keep spinning. We keep going.
We're expanding our branches,
Yes.
growing our leaves.
But without the roots, there is no expansion up. If there is an expansion down,
That's right.
we are in that middle space, that 0 point, balanced, strong, wise. Just continue to feel that connection. How does that connection make you feel, Anthony?
I had a silly thought and stuff. Then I had the regular meditation. Meditation was literally lava rocks at the feet, not very hot lava rocks, but like standard grayish looking lava rocks under the feet, and then pretty much like a bark and stuff. In the words, just stick your hands up in the air and just let the wind just blow your hands around. So.
Nice. I like that.
And the silly part of it was life is like a toilet. You always plunger it. So.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
true.
you suck the shit back up before it goes down.
Yeah. How about you, Kathy? If you can talk, I don't know if you're still eating.
Yeah, I could talk, but I was only in on it for like the last 10 minutes, so.
I think we only did 10 minutes. You probably came in shortly after I started.
Yeah.
When did you come in?
When did I come back in?
Yeah, what was I saying at that time?
I don't even remember. But it was in the meditation. Norma had talked and then you talked.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, you missed my first part and then Norma started talking.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We're still just connecting to Earth. Just feeling that connection, that grounded connection, that magnetic, and the elements. Yes, the Earth. Everything that is here.
That how heavy Earth can be just as light.
Like if it helps, think on lava rocks. If it helps anything.
There you go. Think on lava rocks. Or being at the beach in the sand. Or maybe you're on pebbles in a river.
Right.
Whatever you connected with, that was a part of the Earth you connected with.
Yep.
And you can do it with many different parts of the Earth. This is something you can do at home. This is something you can do and should do. I'm one that's really terrible at grounding, but it's necessary. Because if you don't ground, you can't recharge. And if you don't recharge, things are going to come crashing down eventually.
And when you're grounding, you really got to understand the nourishment you're being fed, right? Like Some people will say they're grounding, but they're just this and they're just that. I sometimes have a problem with properly grounding as well and get
Thank you, Thomas.
too overly the top in one place or another. When you're grounding, it truly is understanding that connection, that balance with everything that plays out here on this planet. Okay? Whether you think it's flat or round or diamond shaped, it doesn't matter. Truly connecting to what is being given, what's been gifted to us as human beings and souls learning. Connecting to that, understanding that nourishment, understanding that density. Sometimes I need to be under a little bit of pressure to finally make this, to finally make that breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's understanding all of it. A lot of people say they don't like to ground because it's too heavy. It's just, oh my gosh, I don't know. And it can be if you're in that state of mind. But when you start to really understand what's truly being gifted to you in that heavy, in that dark, that's when you truly learn to grow and expand and know that you can be permanently, you can always have your anchor set and fly as high as you want to, right? As long as your roots, your reality, your here and now is implanted in your here and now, you can go just about anywhere.
Yep. That's where you work from, the here and now.
Yeah.
And you access the past to help you do it better this time, or
Right.
You look to the future to get a vision of what you want,
Right.
where you want to be. This is how it works, folks. This is exactly how it works, and it's worked this way forever, for eternity. You create here. You create what you want. So if you spend a lot of time thinking about things you're worried about, you're going to create more of that worry.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time visioning life and where you want your life and where, or being grateful for the life you have already. That's when you move forward. That's when miracles happen. But we have to be open to miracles.
Yeah, you got to be open and understand when
Or
you're
we're
feeling
gonna
that
miss
pressure
them.
or that heavy or that whatever it is that you just feel like, oh my gosh, it's just too much. That's when the breakthroughs happen. That's when you're really ready to put out another branch or another leaf or another. That's that time for
Branching out is a
expansion.
very good depiction of it, like your branches. Think of yourself as a tree. Those roots that branch out underneath also branch out above.
That's right.
As above, so below. We're living in that, and we're in the middle of that. We're like where the tree shows, but right where the roots grow.
Right.
We're at the center of all of it in this modality.
Yes.
Thank you all for being here. Tina, we missed Tina.
Yeah.
Tina, how are you doing? Did you go hug a tree, or what did you do? What connection did you feel to Mother Gaia?
Mine's different, so I'll pass tonight.
All right.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Yes.
Night.
Have a great night. If you would like to sign up for the class, let me know. Just send me a message. We can get you enrolled. This is what we do. This is one class. Sometimes we read books. Sometimes we very rarely watch a movie. It's got to be something very profound that I feel like, affected me in my life and will affect or help affect your life. But most of the time it's this, or it's a meditation, or it's a astral projection,
I
or
think we did mudras once.
we've done mudras
done, like,
before.
the
We've done,
chakra
a lot of
system.
different of the chakra system, astrology. We kind of just touch on all of it, and we keep going and we keep getting better, and the class keeps getting better. So yeah, if you're interested, send me a message on Facebook or FowlerAR0 Fowler, FOWLER0 That's my email. And we can get you signed up. But I am in the process of working on a new website because the website I'm on right now has just wanted to charge me like 3 times as much. So I'm moving over to another website. It'll still be
Not
the same
site,
web address.
Same site. He's
Same
got me an
domain,
address.
but different host.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. That's going to be launching. Hopefully, I'm not going to give you a time limit because websites take time.
do.
But and before I'm not going to roll it out until it's ready. But anyway, that's kind of what's coming up, and we're going to be working on a lot of mentalism and astral projection and psychic abilities, the whole shebang when it comes to metaphysics, philosophy. That's what we do here. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday, y'all,
Much
here in
love,
class.
y'all. Sending everybody
Much
good,
love.
positive, loving vibes.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. And remember, the first teacher is a rock. So if you want to learn how to ground yourself, talk to a rock. Later.